started the recording. If you guys want to talk shit on Josh, who's not here.
Get better, Josh.
Yeah. Quit laying around.
You get one free pass for not for being sick. Next time you miss, you were talking shit about you.
I just want to make sure that Toby gets a chance to say what he said again without us talking immediately afterwards, so Josh can hear that someday.
What was it?
Quit laying around.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, got work to do. All right, so I think it's been a while, but I think last time the main party was, as they often are, shopping at the Nexus Market.
Yeah.
Yep, we did some shopping.
And then Long Dreamer is going to take you back to your wagon, which is at Yadenve. Unless you need to go by Torch, she can drop you there, but then your wagon is not there.
We need our wagon.
Yeah, we need our wagon. We gotta have our stuff on our wagon.
Okay. So you want her to take you back to the edge of Yadenve. She can drop you within a day of it.
That works.
And when you ask her to return you, she says, I cannot go much west of Yadenve, but I can come pretty close to it.
That's fine. We just need to pick up some stuff we left there, and then we'll continue on from there.
Okay. Well, you are transported back to Yadenve. You'll have no dangerous encounters. You'll see some townsfolk from Yadenve as you head up the road into the town. And Red Fang will make sure that you recover your goods, and you guys will find free food and lodging.
Actually, Krokta would probably be hiding as like a little animal while you go into Yadenve.
Okay.
I don't think she'd just be walking about. So either she'd be following discreetly behind people, or if someone lets her sit as like a little squirrel-like creature on them.
Which brings us to our next point. Red Fang will turn to Ulfred and Tokala and the rest of you and say, where's your elf friend?
He didn't make it.
Oh no. Will we be having a funeral then? Do you need a plot in the graveyard?
There's not enough left of him to bury.
We gave him a really big send-off.
I see.
Could you say that again?
Dropped a building on his ass.
It was glorious.
He lives amongst the stars now.
It's
If
true.
McGinnis says something like that, like you see a slight like twinkle in the sky for a split second.
I'm free!
Reflected in the single tear sliding down McGinnis's cheek.
Yep. He's just rocketing through space, listening to that Shooting Star song. Forever.
We appreciate the thought, though. But yeah, we took care of it. And cleared out and took down a very dangerous place. So.
All right.
He has a tombstone like no other now.
He really does. Red Fang will be very interested to hear about what happened to the tower. They can see it normally from Yadenve, and he said there's just been a plume of smoke and dust and debris over there, and they can't see the tower anymore.
Yeah, Eldrin died in the tower, and once we cleared it out, we thought it was very dangerous to leave it there. Somebody else might come across it and be hurt, so we brought the tower down on top of Eldrin.
How lovely.
By the way, are they freaking out about our flame dwarves?
Your
I can't remember the name of them.
Oh yeah.
the
Azores?
the
Girlfriend's
Azers.
girlfriend.
That's right. Let me get the Azers here. Glad you reminded me about them.
Toby, did the token changer mod get turned off or something?
Is it not working? It's working for me.
I don't see. I see you changed it, but I don't see the option to switch.
When you right-click your token, you don't see the little face with the circle on it?
Nope.
Weird. Probably a permissions thing. I'll try to fix that. Let's see. The Azers have like 20 buffs on them. They don't need that. Okay.
Hey, Toby.
Yo!
I'd mentioned buying some wands while we were over there,
Yeah.
but I wasn't able to
Oh.
since, yeah.
Let's see. I'll throw the Nexus shop on this screen. You guys had plenty of time to do that. Boop. Here's the Nexus shop down here. Yeah. Are these the ones you were thinking of?
The wands of infernal healing is what I was thinking of. Where would those be?
There's a wand of celestial healing. There's a wand of infernal healing also.
Which basically does the same.
They do.
I'll buy as many of those as I want.
They have plenty of them, yeah.
I wanted to buy 3.
Okay. Yeah.
I just found something in the hands of the community shop we might consider picking up, even though we've got we've done so many magic items. Handy haversack for 1,000 gold.
Ooh, yes, please.
I think Olbrin maybe has one, but yeah, they have another one for sale.
Much better price on Amulet of Natural Armor +4 than the Nexus did.
You guys have a flat discount here.
Yeah.
You have a very, very hefty discount in Yadenve for saving the town from the evil technology.
I'm glad they see things the way I see them.
Of course, while you're here, you keep Tokala's giant space chainsaw hidden.
Yes.
McGinnis keeps the Inferno pistol hidden. And probably didn't show off Justice either.
I'm clicking the purchase button and it keeps saying not enough funds to purchase item.
Huh.
I have 6,000 gold in my inventory.
Let's see.
Um.
See if it maybe doesn't count weightless currency. Try it again.
Yeah.
I tried it over currency. It didn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, so you need... It's probably just something funky with the shop mod. You want a wand of infernal healing.
I'd like 3 of those, please.
My God.
Well, I did a little comparing on things, and I realized that that's pretty much like the best way to keep me good. It's just to top me up between battles, basically.
Yeah,
That's very cost effective.
Yes, it is. Out of everything I could purchase that would do me the most good, that was pretty much it.
And I already gave you the money for my tattoo, right?
I'm not sure. Probably. I think we probably subtracted that.
It looks like I lost my spell tab.
You lost your spell tab? I'll fix it. That's a fun one.
If I bring it back up, hopefully it has all the spells I dragged into it still.
It does.
It should.
Okay, nice.
Okay, so Kala, you got a bunch of these wands, bud. And when you activate them... Perfect. That's what we like to hear. And it just does 10 healing, so that when you click it... Oops, you don't need 4 of them. Just Just
I fixed the spells by the way, so no need to.
okay. You got it. Okay, good.
So, who wants this handy haversack?
I take it.
It's in the hands of the community box there.
Also, the Yadnve Erastil Temple. You guys don't know if you noticed, but it will sell you a scroll of raised dead for 3,000 gold.
Might not be a bad idea to have one of those.
Definitely.
What level spell is that?
Pretty high.
Alright, I grabbed it, and I'm going to pass it over to Ulfrid.
Okay.
Because while I have a decent chance of being able to do it...
Right, he has 100%.
Exactly. Alright. Did you get that?
I don't see it. Well, I have one.
Scroll
in
of raised
here.
dead. You do have one.
I have two now. Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have so many scrolls and potions.
Trust me, I understand.
Okay. Yeah, the Azers are sort of stared at here in town, but they're wearing, you know, kind of heavy iron armor and iron tools on their backs, weapons. They're not wearing anything that's actually offensive to Yadnve, and Yadnve's used to some pretty strange customers coming through, so they're dealing with it pretty well.
Alright, I just want to make sure, because they are kind of weird.
They are very weird. And they have been promised that they will be shown to Torch to see the incredible Space Forge there.
Yep.
Accidentally entered combat. Happens to the best of us, Croctods.
Yeah, I was just seeing. I didn't know what that sword and shield symbol meant. Now I know.
Soup shop is open if anybody wants to pick up some.
It's all quite expensive, except for this brow brew, I guess.
Well, that's alcohol, so.
Yeah.
Actually, here's the thing. Are there any of these that we want? Because Toby has pretty much said when we head back to Torch and I hand over this magical cooking set to Reginald and a sample of the soups, he can make them for us. So is there any of these we might want to reproduce?
The miso beef ramen is pretty spectacular.
Yeah. I think I have one of those. I wanted.
The wagon only has the tomato bisque and the mixed veggie. Oh, and it has miso beef. Yeah, that's in there
Okay,
already.
it does have those?
Yeah.
Alright.
Mhm.
Want some swamp egg goulash?
He's not gonna be able to get that ingredient again.
think I
Unless
still
McGinnis's coat has been growing some.
I still have some of the prawn chowder. So,
Oh, I'm going to enjoy eating that, Frenchie.
Chowder.
a little bit of chowder.
Chowder.
Everybody stuck up on brow brew.
It's the finest drink in all the land. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I've got one of those and one of those, so that's fine for my personal thing. So, Okay, mixed vegetable, tomato bisque, miso beef. Those 3 there.
Did we get one of the chicken noodle?
I
It's
have one.
basically a healing potion.
It's a healing potion and a new save versus
Poison.
disease. The poison and disease, yeah. I can pick one of those up and put it in the cart.
I'm gonna put this 50 feet of silk rope into the carriage.
Do you
Yeah, I
think
mean,
do you think if I brought some of this brow brew to Chugs, he'd be able to replicate it somehow?
I'm not so sure about that.
Could you imagine? Brow brew on tap.
Not really.
I forgot that was a sound effect with that.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
And it does not lethal damage to you. That's their
I went
fucked up
to-
mushroom beer. That's the local mushroom beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did
Ugh.
I figure out what's in it
And
as
it
a
tastes
druid?
awful.
If I drink it, can I use my knowledge nature to like?
Oh,
figure out how
sure.
it's made?
Oh, they'll tell you at length. They'll tell you just epic stories about what's in it, which is grapes you would never want to eat, and a strange local mushroom that grows on all the wood in town, like buildings, structures, fences. It's just a very common mushroom, and it's considered an acquired taste, meaning it's gross, and this town is just used to drinking it.
Cool.
What-
Crocodile,
what
pay
they had
attention
on
when you're
hand
talking
with the
about that.
ferment.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take note, hoping that I can potentially grow that type of stuff later, or identify it if I need to. Make some beer.
Oh, you gonna try to win me over with brow brew?
Potentially, yeah. She sees that you're into it, so she's studying the ingredients, and you're like, oh, that may be helpful to win him over eventually.
That would.
Rapid shot on. Huh. Why is Justice doing this? Let me fix this.
Anybody, the Ring of Force shield is pretty good if anybody has proficiency in shields. Basically a heavy shield that doesn't do armor check penalty or spell failure chance.
Yeah, that wouldn't be. Oh, I do have proficiency in shields.
Are there
Wow.
any others that are busted, McGinnis?
Yeah, it seemed like I tried them all and none of them worked.
You trying them from your token, or?
I'm trying it from my little mat, I guess, upper left. I mouse over attack and then it
Oh,
drops
attack's
down.
there. Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
We go rapid shot, haste, full attack. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think something might be goosed up with token HUD then.
Let me try mine. Yeah, that's my multi weapon.
And it worked from token HUD?
Yeah, from the drop down.
Hmm.
I even put a haste one on it.
Weird. Gonna refill your Inferno pistol. You probably have enough canisters for that.
Yeah, I have a ton of those things.
Okay. Let's see.
So, if we have extra cash, I would take that Ring of Force shield. Like, if we have extra gold to burn, that could be cool with Crocta. Make her more tankish.
I think
And I can
know
get,
why.
like, it's kind of good since it's not metal. I can actually use it.
How much is it?
It's like 4,000 gold, 4,250.
I have about 3,500 right now.
I have
I got-
4,070. You can have
I got-
4,000. I
Okay.
need that other 70 for drugs.
I've got 55 gold.
Do you think Fire Waifu would like that Warhammer of Shock?
Fixed. There's a Warhammer of Shock for sale, she says.
Yeah. I think it would look good on your belt.
Is Ulfred really about to drop 4K for Fire Waifu?
I think so.
You bastard.
Yeah, especially I'm like, I need 4,000 gold, guys. And he's like, let me buy.
Her weapon is of similar quality, so she's all right. But thank you.
All right. Hey, I would have offered to give you some, but literally everyone else is like, "Here's money."
I know. I'm just playing.
I know.
I don't mind. I actually think it'd be awesome if you did drop 4,000 gold on Fire Waifu. Because then, I mean, Toby's gotta respond somehow.
Oh God!
You can't just ignore your extravagant gift to Fire Waifu.
You can't buy love, guys.
No.
Did you get the rest of the money so you can get that ring?
I just deleted off my character sheet. Feel free to add your own. Sorry.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Ulford gets rejected and turns into like an incel.
Oh no!
Thank you.
The ultimate character arc.
Oh no!
I gave her a hammer of shock. I'm entitled.
He shows.
Not when it's not involuntary.
He shows up to the new Hell's Vengeance campaign as Ulfred the Incel.
Oh my God! Please.
He's evil because he's angsty.
That would be pretty good.
His battle cry is actually.
Actually.
Tips Fedora.
Actually, it's a trilby.
So, refresh my memory. Are there 2 ring slots at a time, or does this each character only have like 1 ring slot?
2 ring slots.
2 ring slots, fine. Yeah.
Sweet.
I think we got all the really cool stuff out of here.
All miladies are whores because they won't stroke my beard, he said.
That's great.
I like to think y'all's Hell's Vengeance characters would be a greater form of evil than just a bunch of angry incels.
Well, I did put that that list up for rolling edgelord backstories.
Oh boy. Man, I have seen some
Yeah, that's
edgelord backstories in my day.
It's on the meme dumpster. I put it there, and I said if it's mandatory that we roll on this for our backstories if we do our Shackles campaign.
I think it would be fun to sit down with Hell's Vengeance and have everybody pick a movie or book villain to directly transcribe and play them. One person's like, I'm Voldemort. Another person's like, I'm Hannibal Lecter. You know, just pick like a direct villain.
I like it.
And somebody picks somebody from The Wire, which is full of villains who are not really villains, but
Yeah, you know, someone will try and pick like the least villainous, weird, like I'm the Ebola virus from Outbreak.
I was gonna be. I'm Hitler.
That's why I said from fiction.
I'm Jim Carrey's the Riddler from the George Clooney Batman. I quit. Campaign's over. Cancel it. Forget it.
Oh man.
Put the whole thing in the trash.
Best Batman movie ever.
Oh. No.
Tommy Lee Jones is just like masterful as Two-Face.
I would rather you go Danny DeVito's Penguin from Batman
Oh my
Returns.
God, I would rather that too.
I
loved him as Penguin.
It was
He was
perfect.
so creepy.
It's fucking
Yeah.
disturbing.
It's gross.
Really, I mean, with his little flipper hands and
Yeah.
Cesar Romero. What is he from?
He's the 1966 Joker.
Oh gosh. Oh no! The whole party of Jokers. No, sorry, Joker's chaotic evil. It's not gonna work.
I can remember that Joker. Holy hell.
We would all be locked up by level 2.
The mustache underneath his clown makeup.
Yeah. Okay, done shopping?
I believe so.
Yep.
Yeah, so this ring of force shield, if I turn it on, it acts like a heavy shield. Can I not use a spear at the same time then? 'Cause it's being wielded like a heavy shield.
I would assume it's like, yeah. You
Because
Yeah,
it's
that's what I would
basically
think.
it's basically a mini wall of force that you can use as a shield.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It makes sense.
stays
So
as
at
the
some
ring.
point I need to grab like some type of one-handed weapon.
Well, I mean, well,
Right.
actually, here's a question though. I mean, if I
Hmm.
remember correctly, your species has 4 arms, right?
Mhm.
Oh.
It'd be up to the GM whether or not you could,
That shit gets kind
because
of
of
cheap
physiology,
though.
do that.
I mean,
I bet they have rules
spear.
for that.
Spear is
If I'm wild
also.
shape though, I would only have 2 arms when I wild shape. So,
Spear is also a one-handed weapon most of the time. Like short spear is.
yeah, I think mine's a.
I would
Range
definitely let you one-hand it when you're in your giant ape form.
Okay.
Like
Cool.
shield on
That's
one
what I would
arm
be-
and one-handed spear in the other. That'd be fine.
Nice. Okay. That's probably when I would use it. So
And you can activate and deactivate it as a free action, so it's not
Yep.
like it's going to get in your way to anything you need to do.
Yep.
sweet.
Character gets weirder and weirder. I like it.
I mean, again, even as a free action, it's like you can think, oh crap, I'm going to be, I'm in the middle of the fray, I'm going to get beaten up, turn the shield on and go to full defensive, and the next round turn it off and go kick some ass.
True. Yeah, this thing's pretty badass. Thanks for the money, guys.
Yeah, no problem. All right,
Okay.
let's see if we can actually do something other than shopping like we've done the last 3 sessions.
Yes, please.
Roll for initiative. A new round of deals has engaged you in combat.
We have entered an auction house.
I wouldn't be against a whole campaign of just wheeling and dealing and being
God, I would.
this guys.
Fuck that.
I would have so much fun with that.
Oh.
I did read somewhere that some DM ended up closing a campaign because the characters realized they could make more money running a salt mine than adventuring.
Jesus.
Now, listen here.
Oh yeah, I think I heard about that one too.
The reason this would be fun is because then you could do like a Wall Street thing where like you were murdering your competition occasionally.
I was
Oh,
picturing it
shit.
more like a Numerian flea market where we're all just like selling garbage.
The American Psycho campaign.
Yeah, that'd be fun, right? Just like occasionally, when the deal didn't go your way, you just kill them.
One of my friends and coworkers who plays is in a D&D first edition campaign that has been going on in real life like once a month for a year plus. They are still first level.
Oh, Jesus.
They are doing old school XP and there's like 8 of them. And they've nearly died several times. And it sounds like hell on earth to me.
Yeah, no, screw.
No.
All right. So we headed to Torch then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're heading
yeah.
to Torch.
Yeah, drop off the fire waifu. Did you buy her the hammer?
No, she didn't want it. She likes hers better.
I see.
Okay. You guys are going to travel to Torch. Because we've been shopping so long and because you have killed the giants here and flattened the tower here, there's going to be a pretty minimal chance of encounters. Okay. Let's see. Are you guys going to sleep in a rope trick every night? Are you going to camp like at a campsite normally?
I would say camp on a campsite normally, because otherwise we'll have to bring the dwarves in with us.
You don't want the dwarves in your creepy
I
dimensional
thought Road
pocket?
Trick, I thought Road Trick was a fairly small space.
Oh, true. Yeah, it is. Okay. So, our campsite. Our people. Boop. Still too many bedrolls because the temporary party was using this map. But it's fine. Shh. You didn't see nothing. Here's your wagon if you need it.
Yeah, you're right. I can't see nothing. I don't have the I don't have the
Yeah,
character.
same.
You don't have a character? You can't see on this map.
Nope.
No, it's all black.
Oh, cool. It's done some
Yeah, you got-
token.
I even got a merit message that says you don't have a character on this map.
All right. I'm going to shut off the
Oh, and
lighting.
earlier I had access to like everyone's token. I could go in and see the inventory and everything.
Better?
Yep, better.
Okay.
I see the map but no tokens.
You might need a refresh then. Does everybody else see tokens?
Nope.
I'm refreshing.
I'm refreshing too.
Okay.
We're all reading.
Re.
This little incel goes re all the way home.
I cast Mansplain.
Have you guys seen that College Humor little game show they do called Actually?
Oh boy.
It's pretty funny. It's all about geek subjects. They'll sit there and list a fact, and then you have to go, actually, and then correct the game show host.
Perfect. You live in our world, you run into a lot of people who actually for real all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of know-it-alls. All right. When you guys come back, are you seeing more normal stuff?
Well, right now I have just a gray screen. It's taking its time letting me in.
Is it? Okay.
Might never get back in.
Yeah, I had to clear my...
Oh, mine's loading.
Did you guys get to the login? I had to clear my cookies to get the login to come back.
I got a token now. I'm good.
Okay.
Yep, there we go.
I'm still gray screen, but you can go.
I'm in.
Oh, Tracy, you're still on... Goodness, you're still on Connor Bain. Let me put you back on Takala.
Oh, that'd be good.
That's probably why you're having some vision problems. Okay, McGinnis, Croctile, Alfred, Nomcath. Good. Everybody's on their correct character.
Okay, cool. I can see it.
Who are you attacking, sir?
Looks like you.
Oh, nice.
Oh man, the animation didn't go.
I think a 29 would hit.
Yeah, but it's showing a mugshot of who you hit.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's something you added if you target some.
How do you target them?
Double right click or click on the target button under the select.
Hmm.
Now let's not everybody beat up on Tokala.
That's what he's there for.
Alright.
Okay. What are our nightly watches?
I'll take one with McGinnis.
Yeah, we'll go first.
I'll take second watch.
Okay.
Actually, can I do a commune with nature spell to this look in the area around us and like ask whatever the animals and stuff if there's anything going on nearby?
Sure.
Shit, one sec.
Should I be concerned that in the bottom left it says 2,716 milliseconds for me?
Yeah, you have a pretty bad ping there, but that's probably because you just loaded. Okay, commune with nature.
So yeah, I'm trying to ask them for the presence of unnatural creatures. Or presence of like dangerous animals in the area around us. So in the 9 miles around us, I guess I can ask.
Okay. You cast this when you guys sit down to go to bed, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys see Crocta kind of just like going over and touching a plant. You think she's just being weird, but she looks deep in thought.
Yeah, you meditate for 10 minutes and feel a number of old trees nearby and huge stones underneath the ground that none of you can see, but you know they're there. Talk to a few animals in passing. You get a sense that as far as unnatural creatures, this land is pretty quiet. They mention something about a great stone fortress full of monsters toppling, falling, and that things are quiet in that part of the forest now. And they say that there are much more dangerous things if you go that way, and they kind of point northwest. But the area you're in is fairly calm.
Okay. And she'll share that with the party. The natural beings around us seem to indicate that we're safe, so of course we can keep watch just to be careful, but I think we'll be okay. Nothing around us for many miles.
Well, I'll sleep a little easier.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, you guys have a quiet night, and you may resume your journey in the morning.
Resume we shall.
Okay. Are you going to stop at the Lockstar Hotel for a night?
We should check in on them, see what's up.
Yeah.
Okay. You'll have a quiet stay there. He mentions that the Giants have not been back for their monthly tithe. Thought that was kind of strange.
Been a month already?
That's odd.
I'm sure they're
Go
just
figure.
running behind.
Well, you guys have a peaceful night there and a lovely meal. Talk to some other travelers who say they've seen the occasional patrol from Curratown coming this far east, which the Lockstar Innkeeper says is not abnormal. They're generally peaceful. They trade with him, or they do trade deals in his outside his inn sometimes. The Curratown orcs. Sort of a tribe of barbarian under a rather famous barbarian named Korra. And I think we discussed this before, but Tokala and Namkath have both likely been through there in their travels in the past.
Yep.
It's a bit of a lawless, might makes right kind of place. You wouldn't want to stay there for too long if you didn't have business to do.
Or a very big gun.
Or a very big gun would be good. Okay. First leg of journey is pretty safe. The next leg, you'll be passing through what was formerly a dangerous area called the Choking Tower, but it's not very dangerous anymore. And I assume you want to avoid the Vegapygmy area. You guys are not big fans of Vegapygmies.
Yeah.
Hasn't worked out for us so far.
We could get more eggs, though. No.
Think of the eggs.
Ugh, good. That's true. And
No, thank you.
let's see, this is going to be... Yeah, it's going to be almost... It's going to be about 11 or 12 days to back to Torch. But you're going to make it pretty safely. You've rendered this whole zone much safer than it used to be. So you roll back into Torch and are welcomed as friends by the people of Torch. Let's see, where's our Torch slide?
Nice to have some time on the open road.
Yeah, it's good to travel.
That's not what I want.
Sure beats that doggone tower.
I don't. If I never see a trap-filled tower again, it'll be too soon.
All right, and Croctot needs a token. This man is dead. Get out of here, dead man. Okay, Croctot's. Okay.
And Crocta again would just, as you guys go into Torch, would probably hang out as an animal, small animal that's not too noticeable, because in her experience, people look at her weird with the 4 arms and everything.
I mean, it's your choice. Torch is a pretty nice place to be.
Well, I'll come with, but I prefer to just let them think I'm an animal that's decided to tag along for now.
All right. I think the first thing we should do is get our other friends settled in.
Oh, and actually, Torch is a town. Did you guys not say that in your prior adventures you saw someone like me below it, Nomcat?
Well, we saw a bunch of skeletons whose skulls were kind of in the shape of your head, and yeah, there was a couple of undead things that was kind of looked like you, but you know, dead.
Could you show me how to go down there, or point me in the right direction?
Well, yeah, we could. I figure. I mean, I think we got a couple of things we need to. Some of us want to do at the forge while we're here, so we'll be here a couple of days at least, and I can show you during that time.
Okay, yeah, and I don't mean to bother the rest of you, but I have to go investigate, look down there. If you say you saw skeletons that look like mine, I've been looking for my tribesmen for some time now. Hopefully that's not them, but it's something I need to look into. I can be pretty sneaky though, so I think I'll be safe.
You'll have to have a couple of us show you, because you got to go down under the water, through some rivers, and then a few of the doors, and some winding tunnels and such, although it should be pretty much all clear by now still.
Okay, yeah. That would be great if you could serve as my guide to at least get me down there later, once we're settled.
Sure, sure.
2 Meyandas, that's too many. Well, that one's still in jail. This one's not. You guys will notice that you'll probably run into Dinvaya, Connor, Val, the usual local folks at the Foundry Tavern, and you'll notice that Meyanda is wearing armor and has a pistol on her hip.
Meyanda, I see you've made a good impression.
Connor turns and says she has very recently distinguished herself in service of the city.
Well, good on you, lass.
Yeah, I'm glad we gave you a chance.
You must sit and tell me about it. We're back in town for a few days, and I have nothing to do.
Well, let's see. She has all the charisma of an emotionless android with an 8 charisma. So let's see. This is not actually.
Connor can spin the tail better.
I also have an 8 charisma. We are on equal footing.
She tells you a story with occasional input from Dinvaya and Connor and some exuberant input from Val, of them putting together a band of mercenaries and heading up to Aldrinard's grave because there was some new tribe of barbarians or some other strange tribe, not Smilers, not quite that gross, but they were pretty scary. And they took over Aldrinard's grave, and the Church of Saranray came through with a paladin and a couple of mercenaries in service of her and retook it. And so the fortress is now rededicated to Saranray. You can stop in there and trade and buy potions, get food and water, and it's a safe place to stay. And Connor says it's a big improvement for local stability and safety.
That's good to hear. I was wondering what would happen with that place after we cleared it out.
Well, it was unfortunately taken over by some pretty scary guys, said Connor, but we chased him out of there.
Good.
Was this our little side adventure we're discussing?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Did you really say that you liked them that way, greased up and confused?
What? Oh, God. That's true. Connor did employ the greater grease spell.
And confusion spell.
And confuse it. Yeah, greased up and confused is the way we like the barbarians. Yeah, they tell you the whole tale. Mayanda's side of it's mostly about the combat, like shot for shot, blow by blow.
Details, yeah.
Gory details.
This swordsman with this giant sword, he sounds like quite the noble warrior. What? She stole the kill?
Oh yes. Lots of kill stealing was happening.
Dishonorable. Never steal somebody's kill.
Yeah. Takala's never sunk so low.
Those were my rifle kills.
You can't finish it off with the first blow, it's not your kill.
Wow.
That's right. Be a man. Just do it in one shot. Isn't that right, McGinnis?
Damn straight.
Just shoot the god in the eye, right? Okay, you guys set up the Azers with Dinvaya's Forge, Dolga's Foundry. They are fascinated by the torch light and are very interested about it and the source of it, and also want to go underground if you guys are going to take a trip down there to look at that stuff.
Sure. You okay with swimming? It's gonna be underwater for quite a ways.
They look suddenly very worried and have changed their mind and rather stay up here and just craft items in it.
I don't want to put your beard out.
They're not fans of water.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. That's why I brought that up before we brought them down there.
Nothing more
McGinnis.
sorrowful than an Azor with a sodden beard.
True.
That was a very solid pun.
I thought it was more liquid, but...
It was a fluid thing.
Yeah.
What are you guys talking about?
Yeah, that one had a real flow to it.
Alright, I also get them to do the modifications to the Hex Squid shirt. So
They do it.
Would air bubble protect them from the water?
If you could do a full body version where they wouldn't get wet at all, they would like that very much.
Says touch underwater.
You actually need the Starfinder
Protects the-
version, the full life bubble.
Oh, I see. It protects the object touch from water damage. From water damage, so probably not. Oh well.
I mean, if it protects from water damage, that means it pretty much doesn't get wet because, you know, you get a piece of paper wet, it's damaged. You know.
Okay. Well, they're set up in the forge. They start working on the armor. That'll only take them a couple days here.
That's what I figured. I also give Reginald the magic. Here somewhere. So much crap in my head.
Oh, the soup recipes?
Cookware. The magic cookware.
Ooh.
So I'm just going to delete that.
Okay.
And
wait, where is it now?
oh, it was in. I had an item in my inventory, so it just said magic cookware.
Okay, is it gone?
It was, yeah. I just deleted it out.
I'll find it.
I'll find it. It basically just said it, +5 to cooking checks.
Magic cookware, Reginald. Okay.
And let's see here, and in the cart there is like samples of 4 of the soups that we specifically bought or saved for him.
Okay.
So he can figure them out and recreate them for us.
He shall do it. Very good, sir. He says.
Just, you're here helping us out, and we came across this, and we thought you'd like it,
Of course, sir. He says he shall begin mastering these recipes as soon as possible.
Of course.
Let's see, he actually needs his own. There we go. That's what we want.
Did we give him all the recipes?
I don't think we picked them all up because we didn't care, but I know in the wagon there's like one of the chicken soups, one of the miso soups. There was one of the vegetable ones, and I think there was 4 of them in the wagon. That we kind of kept it in there, saying, okay, that's for Reginald, so he can figure out how to do these soups.
Okay, because I have the ramen and the chowder. It sounds like they have them covered though. And but I will give him my a thing of brow brew. Say, you need to get this. It has quite the kick to it, boy.
Of course, let's see, he needs this. Okay. Got Reginald set up. He needs magic cookware. There we go. He's got it.
There we go.
Okay. Probably not this time, but next time you guys come back to Torch, I'll have a little shop of Reginald's where you can buy very cheap magic soup.
For us?
You'll only pay cost, so like material cost. Okay, anything else we need to do here?
Well, I mean, Crocodile wants to see the underground, so we'll take him or her there.
Okay.
I think we can probably theater the mind that instead of...
Yeah, that's
what? What? We're going in.
It doesn't...
Well, they're doing that to cause spending time with Mayanda, discussing this new god and how this could be a potential good thing for both of them.
She relates to you a number of visions and dreams she's had that are nearly identical to yours, about a woman being killed by robots and having like a hatred of them, fighting to free yourself under the dominion of some evil god. And the only tidbit that Mayanda adds to the mystery for you is she believes that Hellion, the demigod robot that you all destroyed that was her patron, Hellion is sort of the brother of the deity you two now are reaching out to. The sort of the older brother to Unity. Older child of Unity.
Older brother? Because the history that you gave us before is that she came first and then Hellion. Hellion was the...
Oh, right. One. Yeah, she is the technically older sibling. But Hellion is sort of a direct descendant of Unity, whereas Cassandali was just a prophet or priest of it. But yeah, she seems a little bit different. She seems, well, she's still an android, so she doesn't seem very friendly, but she definitely seems more relatable now and seems to have truly kind of changed. The town seems to accept her now more than they did before. They were very afraid of her for a long time. Even walking around in handcuffs, they were sort of wary of her. But now she's sort of accepted here.
That's
good.
to call his contribution.
Okay. All right. In Krokta, they take you. Won't be any trouble for the druid, and I'll spare the rest of it. Who's going to go with down there to show you?
I'll go.
Okay. I'll spare you the swim checks. Although, if Ulfred, are you going?
If the fire waifu is not going, I'm not going. I'm gonna stay her and watch her work.
Oh, you can work with them. Dinvaya and the Azers, and you will get this done much quicker.
I can turn into a frog ape, so I should be able to swim through there pretty easy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going hard on that.
Hell yeah.
Oh, nice.
Alfred, you're looking good. Just banging away. Just a dwarf and a bunch of Azers and a half elf banging away in a hot, sweaty room.
That's pretty hot.
All right.
Don't singe anything.
Well, Nomcath, you will get a water-breathing spell from Connor if you want one.
Sure. Make our lives easier.
Make it super easy. And you notice that Krokta will turn into the aquatic ape. Although Krokta, when you get in this water, it smells and feels strange on your skin. There's a strange contaminant in it that you've probably not felt before. Some odd chemical that does not occur naturally.
So
And
knowledge nature would not identify that.
You can. It's basically this pool is spoiled by some mineral. You know, it's as if like an oil pocket broke open and leaked into a water supply. There's just sort of a strange, inedible, unbreathable chemical in this water that makes it difficult to even with your water breathing, you find it distasteful. It's like being in a really smelly cloud of chemicals. But it's survivable.
Try to go as fast as possible.
Yeah, and you guys pass through no problem. It's a bit tight for the giant aquatic ape, but you have no problem breathing or maneuvering or even seeing down here. So you two get in and traverse through a long and twisting cave into a completely manufactured environment. Metal walls. Nomcath swipes a little card through a card reader. I don't think Krokta's seen that sort of stuff before. Doors sliding into the walls or into the ceiling out of sight for moments. And then you pass into a habitat, which is a desert-like environment. But Krokta, you immediately recognize it as intending to simulate your home world of Kasath, your home planet. The rock formations may have been picked up. In fact, you notice that the rock is not false. It really is rocks from your home world that make up this gigantic indoor habitat. And the sand running through your hands feels like home. You unfortunately do find the skeletons of a number of Kasathans who were enduring the torment of undeath for unknown centuries, but the party, you'll learn from Nomcath, relieved them of that curse. And the body of Hetueth, which was their tribal leader, who you might have known when you were unfrozen all those eons ago, is rotted and zombified, but preserved enough to recognize him if you knew him in life.
Well, so Krokta definitely recognizes this type of habitat, similar to, and takes kind of her breath away for a second when she first comes in, but then immediately recognizes it as not quite where she is from or where she grew up, but very similar to the habitat her tribe was in. Hetoatha, I guess, Toby, sure, if the tribes could have known each other, then yeah, maybe she would kind of vaguely know who he was, but not know him closely, but have heard of him. And when she finds his body, she'll kind of lean over it and cast a spell. Purify a piece of his meat and take it off and eat a piece.
Okay.
And mutter to herself in Kasathan in remembrance. And look around and ask Namkath, are these all the creatures you saw down here? These are definitely my people. I think this man, I knew him, or I knew of him in the past.
What do you mean? It seemed like he'd been here for a very long time.
When you,
what do you mean?
When you consume that piece of flesh, sorry, just to pause for a second. When you consume that piece of flesh, you are treated to the briefest flash of looking through what appears to be a one-way glass window, putting all four of your hands up against the glass, sort of beating on it and being unheard on the other side, and watching your brethren through it slowly shamble around as skeletons and zombies aimlessly in circles across the dunes. And you're just sort of beating on the glass in frustration, and the vision fades.
This man, I saw a vision when I did the ritual there. He saw his tribe members become skeletons like this. But yeah, you were asking, I knew him in the past. What do you mean he's been here for a long time? I mean, don't understand.
I'm no expert in it, but I mean, this place he kind of waves around. This place has been here for a very, very long time. That's what Morgan said. That's what Eldrin agreed on when he brought him down here. So I kind of assumed that all the creatures here have been here for a very long time too. So how did you know him? I mean, I know elves live a long time, but how long does your people live?
I was put into stasis. They called it frozen, I believe. But I didn't think I was under for that long. I had misbehaved, so to speak, in my habitat. They took me away. I was frozen and woke up later, but honestly, I'm not sure how much time passed. I thought it wasn't too long, but if you're telling me this place has been here for a long time, what do you mean? Like 100 years? 50 years?
To remind me, Toby, I think between Morgan and Eldrin, we're talking, got the impression of thousands of years.
Yeah, Eldrin's appraisal was thousands.
Like thousands, like beyond elven lifetimes, thousands.
Oh.
Like this place was old to elves, ancient to elves, kind of thing.
I see. That's not good. I did not know that. Have you ever heard of any other places like this here on Golarion?
We've found bits and pieces. Nothing this big. There's kind of another weird thing like that. A couple of them over in Scrapwall. One of them was maybe about the size of that what'd you call it, biodome out there? And then a smaller one that was probably about the size of a couple of these rooms down the bottom of a pit. And then there was the other place, I don't know if it's the same, but it was some sort of machinery place underneath. I don't think it's the same kind of thing though. But this is the only place where I've seen anything even remotely looking like you.
have you ever seen anyone frozen in time? Like I described, this laying. I don't know how to describe it. I woke up in a broken piece of technology, but last I remembered was being frozen there. Have you ever encountered something like that?
Well, in the scrap hall area, Eldrin was running from these weird ghost things and these weird outfits. And he jumped into some sort of canister, and he said he was in there for like about 50 years or so when we let him out.
No, my tribe never would have voluntarily jumped into tech like that, though. Wow.
Well, he was running and trying to escape, so, you know, kind of
Yeah,
hard to blame the guy.
Right. I was the only one I knew of my tribe, and I was put against my will in such a contraption. So thousands of years, are you sure? I mean, Eldrin, he had, from what you told me, many. Well, I guess they weren't that outlandish. I am an alien. But I can't believe it. That just doesn't seem right. That would mean all of my people, we don't live thousands of years. They would all be dead by now. My entire tribe is dead, if what you're saying is true.
Well, I mean, Eldrin had weird ideas, but he knew his stuff. We give him a hard time about always going on about stuff and obscure things, but he knew his stuff. All the places we went, it's like if we ran into this tech, he'd figure it out within 10 minutes or so. So
yeah.
He didn't have a very accurate idea of how long. I mean, like, he couldn't tell us exactly, you know, it'd been 10,000 years, 15,000 years. He just said it'd been a very, very long time. Long even for elves.
I must admit, the bones of my compatriots back there did look rather worn and aged.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I couldn't imagine losing my family like that. Family's such a big thing for me and my people. I couldn't imagine just going to sleep and then the next day they're all gone. All my cousins and aunts and uncles and brothers and half-brothers and sisters.
Just washed away like they were never there in the first place. I guess I'm the only one that even knows or cares that they even existed.
Well, I mean, Numeria is a wild and crazy place. Maybe there's descendants tucked away in some corner or some valley that nobody's ever gone to. There's so many barely explored and dangerous places out there. My family tells stories of all the wild places, and it seems like every year one of the cousins comes back with some other new strange story of something that was found.
Yes, I hope so. And Crocta kind of just stares off into the distance a little bit after saying that. He kind of turns away a bit, unresponsive, just kind of looking off into the habitat again of what looks like her home world and the habitat she grew up in. Maybe after a little awkward long silence, we'll just turn to Nomcat and say, well, shall we go back up? I guess there's not much more to see here.
Yeah, if you're ready. I mean, if you want to look at some of the other tech stuff, I can show you it to you. I don't understand a lot of it. I understand a lot more than I used to. But
no interest in this. This tech is poison to the soul. This is what killed my tribe, as far as I'm concerned. The people that built this and the technology corrupted them, made them evil.
Pretty cool water fountain, just a couple halls down.
Water fountain? What do you mean?
Well, I'll show you. And I show him the quote-unquote water fountain we found.
Okay.
Found.
I'm going to demonstrate the incredible mystique of the water fountain.
Yep.
as you say that, Croctus is gonna like hold up her hand and cast Create Water. And so like, I have no need for that.
Okay. It's weird design, but I just thought me and Tukala thought it was pretty interesting. And you know, by the time we got here, we'd been doing a lot of fighting, and it was nice to kind of wash up a little bit, kind of clear the dirt and dust from our throat. We didn't have somebody like you here at the time.
Yeah, the people that built these habitats did love their weird designs and little toys, but
all right,
they treated us like toys, to be honest. But that's a conversation for another time. Yeah, thanks for showing me though. Very interesting. I can understand why you may have liked it.
It's strange and it's weird, and I'm gonna have some serious stories to tell my family when I get back to them. Some really amazing stuff that they're not gonna believe, but I'm gonna have all the things with me to prove it. As he, you know, taps the sheets where those daggers are and all that other stuff. And we head back up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll love to hear of your tales. I know I would love to tell mine the same. Tell my family.
So I just realized in that RP that Croctaw is basically Dave Lister from the TV show Red Dwarf.
I have not watched Red Dwarf, but I will have to look it up now.
He was supposed to go on a space journey, and he got in trouble for smuggling a cat aboard the mining ship Red Dwarf. And when he wouldn't give them the cat, which was going to be destroyed, they said, well, that's it. You're being punished, and you're going to be put in stasis for the rest of the mining trip, and you're not getting paid. And you're going to wake up 6 months from now back on Earth having not been paid and being fired. And so he goes into sleep, something goes wrong, everyone on the ship is killed by a radiation leak except him. And the ship's computer waits until the radiation subsides, which takes like hundreds of years, thousands of years. And the ship's just sailing out into space endlessly with no one awake consuming oxygen or water or anything, so it's like fine. And so he wakes up, it's like a Rip Van Winkle thing. He wakes up thousands of years later and realizes everybody he knows is dead. Pretty great comedy show.
You could also be Fry from Futurama.
Yeah, Fry is very similar. Okay, so you guys come back to the surface, and it's quite a revelation, pretty heavy on Croctaw to realize all that's befallen your people, and you are just out of your own timeline. You have no idea what's become of your civilization or your people, your homeworld.
Yeah, she's taking it pretty hard. So that night she'll, is it nighttime already by this point?
Yeah, it can be evening.
Yeah. So she'll just kind of walk with Nomcat as they get closer to town, shapeshift back into an animal. But when they get back to the tavern or whatever, she'll just tell him, I need some time to myself, and then she'll scurry off.
Okay.
In her form and find somewhere amongst like the hills to the north. To kind of hide and perch out for the night.
I don't have the map at the moment, but the party owns a large and luxurious mansion with a beautiful yard and a number of trees around it. And you find that if you're looking for, I mean, it's winter time, it's cool outside, but they have kind of a lovely little chunk of town to themselves with their own cook and their own cleaning staff. It's just a lovely place.
Is there much like woodlands behind it? I see on the map there's like trees and stuff behind.
Oh yeah, there's a number of parks and wooded areas in town. I think their mansion's maybe number 3. It's been so long since we've been here.
I think it's number 8, right?
Oh yeah. No, 3 is Silver Disc Hall. The mansion is up here, like 6 or 7 or something like that. Let's see. Yeah.
8 is Otterby Manor or Olander Estate. One of those. Anyway, yeah, she'll just go off in the woods or there's some nature-y part of town and hang out there.
Yep, there's plenty of places where you'll feel comfortable.
She won't tell anyone but Nomcat, otherwise everyone else should just disappear.
Okay. Oberon will spend some time with his sister and the other drow. They are nightly, practically, attractions at the Foundry Tavern, performing with them just the drow or with Val or sometimes with a larger band. And you guys are treated to, while the armor's being done, several evenings of entertainment, beer, story swapping. If you guys have brought some of the brow brew, you pass it around here and people are disgusted and they pretend to like it or immediately spit it out if they're less diplomatic. But you guys have been drinking it for a while now. You're getting to where you kind of like it.
Hey, Jakala, there's 2 helpings of soothe and tempting tonics.
I have my soothe.
Alright.
I'm going to go visit Dolga. And he's just gonna grab some drinks and head out to Dolgal's cairn.
Okay. You find it very well preserved. You find that the ground has been, let's see, this was just a stone in the graveyard here, right?
We built a whole cairn for her. We did a whole pile of stones.
Right. Oh, that's right. She does have an elaborate cairn. You find it. Yes, you find the area has been cared for. Someone's been coming by and sort of keeping the weeds off of it, stuff like that, and it looks like the day you built it.
Well, first Tokala's gonna pour one out for his homie, you know.
Okay.
So he'll dump one of the beers in front of the grave there, because he knows that even in death, Dolga would appreciate a good drink.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's just gonna sit cross-legged on the ground and sit there and talk to Dolga and tell her all about their adventures.
He feels at first like he's just doing something to go through the motions like you've done with your family and with your other people you've lost in your life. But after a minute or two, you honestly feel listened to. You feel like you're not alone and you feel sort of warm in your fingers and toes. And you feel very alive sitting here. And you feel suddenly very reconnected to Gorham and those ideals of glory and battle, distinguishing yourself. And you remember Dolga very fondly for her fierceness, where she faced down Mayanda and the gang of Scrapwall orcs in the streets. To be an older person, to be on the city council, to be a wealthy, successful businesswoman, and yet to pick up her hammer and throw down the streets like she was one of the city guard. You respect her more and more the more you think about it, the more you remember it. And you feel like you've sort of traded stories and wisdom with her. And the message that she gets, the message that you feel like you're getting just from remembering her and realizing what she did and what she had and what she gave up, you're realizing that no amount of money or wealth or success or age should ever excuse you for standing up for what you believe in.
Amen. She was a tough old broad.
Yep. Okay. If there's any other business, let's do it. Otherwise, I'm going to fast forward until Nomkath's armor's done, and then you guys can do what you're going to do.
I think that's pretty much all we got going, unless we get
okay.
something.
Okay. McGinnis, anything? Heard him for a second, then lost him.
In the tavern.
Ah.
Telling stories and reveling in the adulation of anyone who will listen to his BS.
Cool, cool. Mayanda is curious. She shows you the pistol that she was given by Denvaya, which is the 5.7. Let me see. I'll put it in chat here. It's this pistol here, and she'll even take you out and let you fire it if you want. But she says it's the most modern design she's found, other than the Inferno pistol, which she knows that you have, which was her former gun. But she shows you this thing, and Let you fire it a couple of times, if you wish.
It's a mighty fine piece you got there. Where'd you come by that thing?
Denvaya recovered it from somewhere and refurbished it and made me some bullets for it. But it's very accurate, it fires really quickly, and she likes it a lot. Technically more primitive than the Inferno pistol, and definitely not enchanted or as powerful as Justice, but a fine weapon. Very accurate.
Well, I never thought I'd be...
Say again?
I never thought I'd be standing here side by side with you, examining and finer points of our firearms, but I guess you done reformed yourself.
She eyes the pistol on your hip for a little too long, a couple of times. You notice her eyes seem drawn not to the Inferno pistol, but to Justice.
Mm-hmm. You want this.
She says, that's the gun that set me free.
Well, I'm glad you look at it that way.
She says, I do. She says, I don't know if I ever would have got that thing out of my head and broke free of the ideas I had if you hadn't put him down. So I'm thankful.
Well, it was a team effort. I pulled the trigger, but took a lot of guts to get us to that position. So
she says, I heard you killed your whole front line with the explosion.
Well, it was quite a blast.
She says, well, that'll happen. That's what the melee are for, right? She pats you on the shoulder and gets another beer.
Well, I guess she's all right.
Okay. Hey, you guys don't see Croctaw too much. She seems sort of uncomfortable in the city, or she's living in it kind of her own way. If you're in the parks and the more natural parts of the city, you're probably more likely to see her or talk to her. But, yeah, she's considerably less comfortable on the streets and the alleyways and the buildings. Barely ever see her inside. But I think we're done in Torch. Which means the party needs to choose a new direction. Where are we going? Nomcat's armor's finished, and it fits perfectly. You saw Ulfred rolled a natural 20 on it. The Azers and Ulfred and Denvaya fit every single piece to perfectly fit you and give you total freedom of movement without making any noise. All the parts of it that would have scraped or clunked have had an extra padding added. And it's the most comfortable armor you've ever had. And Ulfred points out that it is semi-reflective. It is a good chance of bouncing hard projectile off of you, and it will absorb or deflect a lot of Inferno pistol type fire too.
Yep. I think the plan is we were going to follow the map on Sandali's datapad.
Okay. Because Sandali's datapad led her west of Kurotown into what is known as the Scar of the Spider.
Yep.
Which is a part of Numeria that Longdreamer said she would not go. So are you going to take the wagon all the way over there? Or are we going back to Lockstar and then west? What's the plan?
Well, I mean, the wagon's still, I mean, assuming the terrain can handle the wagon, or the wagon can handle the terrain, it's still kind of the best way to go. That way we can bring stuff.
You've been there yourself, so you know that you can't. There are enough roadways. They're not very good roadways. The wagon will be considerably slower as soon as you go west of Lockstar, and it will be useless past Curratown, you suspect.
Well, I mean, that's up to the rest of the people, or rest of the gang group. Then, do we want to take the wagon as far as we can?
What do we know about Curratown?
Probably not a good place to leave the wagon.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, those of you that have been there know a little bit about it. It is... You could call it a town. It's really more fair to call it a well-established barbarian encampment. It's got a spiky wall. It's got a great hall. It's got sort of the crappiest inn on earth. You know, really just a room full of cots. And, you know, there's a freshwater spring nearby, so you can resupply with water. You can trade for this and that. You have seen slaves sold there. You have seen brawls that led to murder that were not really very prosecuted. So it's a little bit lawless and dangerous. And if you ever turn the tribe that runs it against you, you're just dead. They'll kill you and take everything.
I don't really fancy leaving our party wagon with these kind of miscreants.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if we leave it at the Lockstar Hotel, though he's probably going to charge us the entire time it's there.
We have a house. I mean, might as well leave it there.
Yeah, we'll just have to be a little more picky about what we bring with us and what we leave behind.
It'll be good to be in the saddle again.
Well, if we do that, we might have to pick up some more horses. We only got the 2. I don't know if they're riding horses.
We don't want to risk their lives. They're good horses. We should get horses we haven't named.
Okay, so you want some basic horses.
Yep.
Now don't get attached. They're for sure going to die.
Do not name these horses.
We are going to the Scar of the Spider. These will not survive.
Okay. A light horse is 75 gold.
All right.
Combat trained horse is significantly more.
Who has 75 gold?
I do. I can buy everyone a horse.
Great.
Does everyone have at least a rank in ride?
No.
No.
You may want one. Remember, you are allowed to borrow a rank from next level if you wish.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right.
I will borrow 1 rank then.
Okay.
Are you guys buying horses in town?
Yeah.
That's sad. Like Crocta probably doesn't need a horse, right? Because she can just fly like as a bird or something.
Sure.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be the horse.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that
we
would
can save money.
save
I'll
you
be the horse for
75
one
gold.
person.
That would save us 75
True.
gold and a rank and ride.
Hell yeah.
Come on. Hook me
Wow.
up, horseman.
This always
Could be
happens.
An alien horse that has 8 legs actually and carries 2 people. So
This always happens to the druid
Every time.
party. Just views you as a vehicle eventually. Bastards.
yeah, no one will be riding her. Not yet.
Not that kind of
We'll see
campaign.
that. Yeah. But you don't need to buy her a horse though.
Okay. So, 5 horses. I guess we're ready then. We're going
How much-
to... Yeah?
This is the-
Say again, McGinnis?
a good horse cost.
A combat trained light horse is 110 gold. A heavy horse, like a draft horse, is 200 gold, and a war horse, like a combat trained heavy horse, is 300 gold.
I think McGinnis will shell out for the light trained horse. He's a connoisseur of horse flesh.
Okay.
I too enjoy the taste of horse.
Wow.
It's not exactly
300 gold of it.
but, I wouldn't say I haven't eaten a mule from time to time.
Wow.
In Numeria, it's quite common.
Okay. I'll have these horses ready for you guys to name and get overly attached to next time. So, you're going to set out towards the Lockstar.
Yep.
With a brief visit to Vegapygmy Land. This land, by the way, is just nothing but jungle full of Vegapygmies. No treasure and lots of fort saves against murderous disease.
And once you guys leave town, Croctail, you'll see like a bird fly up and she'll land next to you and morph back into her form and say, "Are we heading out yet?"
Yeah, we're heading for that Spider Valley.
Okay, great. And you'll notice she doesn't have that bright blue robe that had gold on it and stuff. Before she's taking it off, just has her head exposed. Nothing really like ceremonial about her dress. Pretty plain. And so she says, "All right, now let's go."
Pony
I can,
Danza.
watch from above.
Are you okay?
Yeah, yeah. Let's go.
What did Nomcast show you down there?
It was very spiky. The cave walls, I mean. But I don't know if you guys actually know about cat anatomy. But
I'd rather
it is
not.
spiky. It is spiky. Look it up.
There you go. We've got a token for Pony Danza. And we will head west from Torch.
Yep.
Let's see. I think, barring a terrible roll, I think we're okay. Yeah, that's pretty normal. I'm going to fast forward us back to the Lockstar Hotel, unless there's any other funky stops you want to make along the way.
Nope.
Steedy Gonzalez. Okay. Okay. I'm writing down these horse names. They're a thing. Okay, got it. All right. You have everything out of the wagon you want to have out of it. For you shall not have access to it for quite a while.
Yeah.
Oh, do we want to bring along the emergency raft?
Ooh,
By all reports, you are going to a river valley.
And it's only 10 pounds. We could we could put it in the backpack you got.
Yee. Over.
Yep.
If we're going to a river, I don't know if we could set up a contraption to.
yeah,
I'm not
let's
very
do
good
it.
with engineering, but harnessing the wind, I'm pretty good with wind currents. Might be able to help us flow down the river.
Well, we picked up this raft thing it's this little box, and you hit it, you put a battery in it, and it'll expand out to a full raft. And it's got some other stuff. I don't know what kind we'll run into there, but I mean, I don't know if maybe we want to bring a couple of these some of the salvage parts in case we get lucky and find something we might want to fix or modify. Don't necessarily have to bring them all.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't know how to do that, but
I know a little bit.
Yeah, does Alfred have his tramp stamp of physical might? Nice. What does Fire Waifu think of it?
Hey Alfred, do you want to go ahead and grab the raft out of the carriage?
Oh yeah.
The backpack to put it in?
I assume the tramp stamp is in the shape of the state of Florida, but it can be whatever you want.
It is a mighty state.
Florida.
Could have had Tokala write it in the secret Dwarven language, but you couldn't tell him what he was writing, so he might have written it wrong.
It's like doing Chinese characters. I don't really know what they mean, I'm just copying them.
Yeah, you think he wrote might like physical might, warrior, awesome, and he actually wrote like sex potato.
Hey, I wouldn't mind being a sex potato.
Hell yeah.
You know, that kind of describes Alfred.
Bring me. We might want to. There's bedrolls and tents in here, so you might want to grab those. I grabbed myself a bedroll and a tent. I dumped my stuff in there before.
I think I threw mine on the ground around the time that we found. Jeez, I can't even remember his name. Elf Boy.
Yeah, and because we were running out,
Wow.
we were running out of.
You speak ill of the dead.
Waiting, and everybody was dropping something. So
Yep, I was just tossing stuff.
Well, we went back and collected it later. Oops, actually,
Oh, okay. Well, I never
I already
did.
had a bedroll. Okay, so I'm gonna put that one back then.
Yeah, I already have one.
Yeah, I'll put that one back. I thought I didn't realize I grabbed that again, but I did grab a tent. There's a few more tents in there if we want to grab them.
Are they one-man tents?
I don't know. Open it up and find out.
You know what? Let's just be safe. The rats haven't figured out. We're just gonna do a sleeping pile.
So doesn't say. It just says tent and it doesn't say what size it is. So it can be anywhere from a small, which is 1 medium, to a medium, which is 2 medium.
It doesn't really rain here, right?
Numeria, very rarely. And you guys, just coming from Torch, you can have whatever kind of tents you want, however many you want.
Well,
not even concerned about you paying for it. The town would just give them to you, but it's a matter of how much you want to carry.
Yeah, there's 4 tents in the carriage.
Well, those can be whatever type you like.
Well, I mean, I know we don't do a lot of most of the camping we've been in good weather, but even just having the fabric to do stuff with, having a couple of them would be a good idea, you know? If we need to build some sort of hidden shelter or something.
I grabbed one to carry.
Yeah. So, like, I grabbed the VR helmet just in case.
Anything else we want to carry with us? Like that coffee pot. Anybody want coffee?
That was Skaith's thing.
Yep,
Skaith was super into
Yeah.
coffee.
That was fun. If she had stayed, I was gonna get Navkath all wired on that.
I have some insomnia powder that I'm gonna lace the coffee with. I'm gonna bring it.
Jesus.
I'm bringing it. We're all gonna be drug addicts now.
I noticed that my
Say again?
Now there, McGinnis.
insomnia powder weighed 2 pounds. That's,
Whoa!
It's a lot of powder.
Insomnia powder, huh?
Takes a lot to keep this guy up.
Yeah. That's a lot of cocaine. Let's see. Let's alter the weight of this to 0.2. I think that's a little more accurate. There you go. I notice you also have ooze grease and marker dye. Are you up to some shenanigans here, or?
That ooze grease comes in handy, my friend. I don't know what the marker dye is all about, though. I don't know anything.
McGinnis just runs off into the night. Leave me alone. Get out of my backpack.
Let me go bundle my sweaters.
Not everyone can cast grease, okay? Some people have to just carry it with them.
And I've only once in all my time playing D&D have seen someone cast greater grease. Didn't know it was a thing.
I know, it's amazing. I was so happy when I saw that spell.
Greased up the desert. That was so dumb. Okay.
I'm actually still carrying
It's
the
amazing.
crystal that we killed, or not killed, but took what's his name offline with.
Which?
Crap! I am horrible with names. The AI.
Oh, Hellion?
Hellion, yeah. The crystal.
Yeah.
That we used to kind of kick him out of the system.
Mm-hmm.
Eldrin had it. He took it with him, and I took it off Eldrin's body. So I've got that.
Nice.
We run into another computer complex. I'm going to try and slot that somewhere.
Just anywhere it fits. Get in there. Do your thing.
Yeah, I don't have enough engineering to know how to do it right, but I'll find someplace that fits.
Yeah. Kath has put the AI inhibitor facet into the vending machine. It now only spits out unsalted potato chips. No! We've weakened the enemy. Okay. You guys will reach, if you're sure you've packed what you want to pack, you leave torch. Plenty of food and water on you.
Yep.
And that can stay on your horses for the most part. And you will reach the Lockstar Hotel relatively easily. Again, this chunk of road between Torch and the Choking Tower, the former location of the Choking Tower, Lockstar is pretty quiet now. And you reach the Lockstar Hotel and spend the night here for relatively cheap. We're not even going to worry about it. Do you tell him that you murdered the giants or that they won't be back, or do you just let him continue to wonder?
I do not say anything because he thought it was a pretty good deal, and he actually had some points about it. So.
And you guys dismantled his pseudo security system, so. Okay.
I ain't saying anything.
Nope.
Nope.
Okay. The next day, you begin your journey. Let's see. I'm going to move the rest of you right over here next to Lockstar Hotel, and we're going to use Namkath token as the party location.
As usual.
So you head west, and what is our formation like? Are we all six riding or five riding our horses together with Krokta flying around the neighborhood?
Well, this area isn't all that dangerous, right? As long as we pay attention.
In theory, having been through here before, your chief worries the last time you came to Kuratown were the residents of Kuratown itself being the biggest threat in the neighborhood. There are occasionally, very rarely, this is very unpleasant, but giant wasp attacks in this part of Numeria. And the wasps...
Oh, come on.
I know. And the wasps are the type that...
judge you constantly.
Yes, they clutch their pearls and judge you. No, they poison you with their stingers, and you fall unconscious, and they carry away the bodies. And nobody really knows what happens to people who are taken by the wasps. So that's a concern. Other than that, you would worry more about bandits and then the usual Numerian problems of running out of water because there's not a lot of food and water supply around.
Yeah.
Well,
I'd
if I
say we kind of keep in a relatively loose formation, but organized. If we make ourselves look like we know what we're doing, at least most of the bandits and the tribesmen will think twice about doing anything. Just kind of keep our eyes out for the sky for the wasps.
Yeah, I could commune with nature. Give me a sec to see if there's any wasp in the area too. But
Oh, I thought you were gonna try to talk to them. I was gonna fully support that plan.
well, if they come, I can try.
Fantastic.
Might be
I
able to
enjoy
calm them
this
down.
idea. Yes, because your calm spell has been working so well.
Not on someone as troubled as you, Tokala, but perhaps on the wasp.
Alright, so
So if I were to give a party member, like, there's people on the road, or there's a thing in the sky, or whatever, who is probably the first person that's going to get a perception check? Who's the scout?
So I know Namkath you normally are, but Crocta would be flying around as a bird.
yeah, if he's flying around, he's he's probably, unless he's just, or she's just kind of, I assume you're kind of flying out in circles, or are you just kind of staying over us?
Yeah, well, if we discussed it as a party, she'd be willing to scout around, yeah, like fly around in circles around the group as they travel.
Then I'd probably say Croctaw, because she's going to be the furthest out.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
eye in the sky.
Exactly. Until
Okay.
she's snatched up by a wasp and we don't hear from her for the rest of the
The
Yeah?
next character.
Yeah, whatever. She'd become
Next
the
character's a
queen of the
swarm
wasps. Yep, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yep.
I actually have a spell, I think, called like Cape of Wasp. So maybe I should just fly around with that on me so they think I'm their ruler.
Perfect.
I was thinking the new Pathfinder that came out. That's one of the epic things you can do. You literally become a living swarm of bugs and take
Oh.
over the world.
Lovely. Okay. Croctaw. Let's see. Your first day out from Lockstar Hotel, go ahead and give me perception checks, everyone. Oldbrin, natural 1. Josh will be glad to see that. Rolling just like he does when he's here. 27. Pretty good, Croctaw. Well, Croctaw, the road between Lockstar and Torch, it's not a great road, but it's the nicest road you've seen in Numeria. It's generally flat. It's pretty easy to pass with a wagon. You occasionally have to watch what you're doing and not ruin your wheels or your suspension system, but it's a passable road. Now, as soon as you go west of Lockstar, you are seeing a whole other caliber of complete lack of roads. Sometimes the road just sort of disappears into a flat chunk of stone that is almost like a road. There's lots of treacherous places to get the wagon stuck. There's a few times where you would have, if you brought it, you figure this is as far as it would have gone, or you would have had to take an alternate route. But the horses are pretty capable of picking their way through it. And what you're seeing on the road around you is a lot of strangely shaped gullies. It's as if this whole landscape was a flat chunk of plain and stone and then just sprayed from the sky with a machine gun. There's just craters everywhere and pits and strange little gullies and miniature valleys, and there's not a lot of foliage. It looks sort of like a very shallow Grand Canyon kind of thing. And your best bet at getting to Kura Town, you figure, in a reasonable amount of time, is to stay on what looks like the most traveled path, assuming that's the best way to get there. And it winds back and forth a lot. You have a lot of hairpin turns and going out of your way just to avoid going into a dead-end gulch. which you've seen several of off to the sides. And yeah.
So yeah, she'll fly around, see that, and kind of return to the party and relay all that information to them.
Flying higher enables you to avoid dead ends. How's Croc-Tot survival? Do you buy it?
I think so.
You got the stat for it, so you should.
Yeah, I got some. I put 1 skill point in it.
Sure. Go ahead and roll it for me. Plenty good. Yeah, you notice that the main path is right about what is the best way to go about 80% of the time. It's very rare where you're like, now we're going to go off. We're going to go left and up this little hill and through this little gulch and come out the other side, and I promise it'll be quicker. Because you're able to see it from the air, so that's going to save the party quite a bit of time. So in the first day, you get about where Nomcath is now, and we will set up camp there. So are we going to stand some watches?
Of course.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
Okay.
As usual.
I'll take second with Olbrin.
I'll take last.
Okay.
I suppose new guy could hang out with me while I stand watch.
Okay. That works.
Okay. So who would be on watch at around 3 in the morning?
It'd kind of be tail end of second watch, wouldn't it?
I believe so.
That would be
Yeah.
me and Olbrin.
Okay. Let's roll perception checks for those two. Come here, Olbrin, you little goober. Try not to roll a natural 1 again, bud. Oh, you rolled good. And you rolled great. You're both sitting there on watch, looking at the stars, looking out. Every so often, you notice Olbrin does what he usually does with his ridiculous drow dark vision. Is he just sort of stares into the night in a 360-degree arc every direction just to see out as far as he can. Then you guys sit down and have a chat about this or that, very quietly, of course. The time you've spent with the drow has taught you that the drow would make great catfolk. They naturally keep their voices low. They almost prefer to speak in a whisper. Something about the land they come from, deep underground, and how important stealth and subtlety is, means that you after spending time, even around Kua and Ulla, who are professional singers, when they're just talking, they're really quiet. They don't make a lot of noise when they move around. They don't clink their glasses. They tend to not clink silverware. Just everything they do is very subtle. And you spend this time with them. And so you guys are sitting there quietly, listening to the wind and the night, and occasionally talking about this and that. And at the same moment, your hair stands on end, and you get a chill, and you kind of look around, but you don't see or hear anything. You're pretty sure you're alone and safe, but you just had a sudden uncomfortable feeling, and both of you had it.
Stay here. I'm gonna go take a little bit of a look around.
Okay.
Get ready to wake anybody up if necessary. And I'm going stealth mode.
Okay.
Not my best, but not bad.
Okay. You slink off into the night.
And I kind of carefully circle the camp to see if I can see any indication of anybody who might be watching the camp or anything like that.
Clockwise, counterclockwise, and which direction first?
Counterclockwise, starting at about, we'll say, 9 o'clock.
Okay. You slink off into the night, out of the gulch you guys are in to hide your fire, and climb up on a ridge. See as far as you can see with your low light vision. That's what Nomcath runs.
Yeah, I got low light.
Okay. You can see far in the distance Air smells pretty clean. The night is quiet. For the briefest instant, with your 35 perception, for the briefest instant, on the wind from the west, you catch a tiny little whiff of smoke, burned something, burning wood, burning straw, something, and then it's gone. And it's so distant. Whatever it was carried for miles, just past your nose.
Something big's burning. I'm getting it that far. But you said just there was this feeling that it was the overall feeling of something there. Was it more like an immediate something there, or just something's happening out there somewhere, kind of thing? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was a shiver. And if it had happened to one of you, you would have looked at the other one, seen that he didn't shiver, and thought, it's just me. But you both did it.
I'd come back and I'd basically tell Oberyn it's not worth waking anybody up, but we need to pass the information on. So when third watch comes up, it's like something happened earlier in the night. I don't know what it was, but Oberyn and I both we kind of felt something. And I went out and I smelled smoke from the west, but it was so faint and so it didn't smell like a campfire nearby. It smelled like something burning from a long ways away. It's instinct. I can't describe it better than that. I don't think we're in any immediate danger, but stay alert, okay?
When you come back to camp and tell Oberyn what you saw and smelled, he does a little gesture of holding up his fist next to his head and then points his pointed finger up. And he's done it enough times, you understand that it's Drow sign language for understood.
Well, I was saying that
you want to brief the whole party.
That's what we tell Tokala and Crocta when they get up.
Okay.
And then of course we'll have a regular discussion of it in the morning when everybody's awake. It feels important enough to pass it on, but not important enough to wake everybody up right now.
Okay.
Understood. We'll keep an eye out.
All right. It was to the west, so.
Okay.
Which is
that way.
Crocta at this point.
Right.
Okay. I'm gonna get you that cantrip spell called Know Direction, Tokala, so you can always know the direction.
And then he will obsessively tell everyone which direction.
Cast it all the time. Where's the coffee? Well, it's southeast of you, obviously. Okay.
I bet you don't know where that is, do you, dummy?
Idiot. Cast the spell 20 times a day. It's a cantrip. My God has endless patience for me. Okay. Next watch comes. You tell them what you saw.
Yeah.
And go to sleep.
Yep.
Nomketh, you have, after your watch and before the morning, a couple of times you have nightmares that you have not had in months or years. Old stuff. Could be anything, could be family, could be bullied as a kid, could be food you don't like, but it's not necessarily terrifying nightmares, but it's always sort of bad dreams.
Dreams about being stalked by a desert cat.
That's a bad one.
Never really see it and never really attacks. I get just enough, you know. I see a bit of a shadow against the skyline. You know, there's a little bit of rustling, and as I go, I'll see the paw print that wasn't there minutes ago, kind of thing. You know,
One of my one of my other campaigns, I successfully took Tim, my son's character, out of the party while he was like the only one of two people on watch with a mountain lion. Jumped on him, knocked him unconscious, and started dragging him into the night. He was going to have to re-roll a new character. And the other person on watch rolled like a 2 on perception. So Tim has like Panther PTSD in these games. Okay. The morning comes. Party is up.
Man, that was... He kind of shivers and his fur fluffs up and his tail poofs out for a minute and slowly goes back down. Oh, what a night. Did you two see anything, smell anything?
Pretty quiet on their watch.
Oh,
Nope.
it's quiet.
Nothing other than Tokala here. His normal smell.
That's the smell of a man. Maybe one day
And
you'll understand, son.
quite a lot of chain oil.
Yeah, as he sits there, like, adding oil to his chainsaw.
And it's already
So, like, they
dripping out the
went-
bottom because he's added too much.
All right. Well,
There's
look.
never too much.
Takala has not yet, confirmed it, has not yet taken a rank of knowledge engineering. So he just kind of smears the chain oil
On it.
on it. Later, either McGinnis or Ulfred comes back and actually repairs the chainsaw when he's not looking.
This is how Elrin said I should do this.
Oh yeah, Eldrin definitely said just dump the chain oil on top of the chainsaw.
He
And
said
run it a
likes
few
oil.
times.
And when you run it, it flings all the extra off. He did
Perfect.
mention something about maybe the chain falling off, but I wasn't listening.
So
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, I'll explain it also to Ulfred and McGinnis what we encountered in, it's about halfway past midnight.
Well, hell, it doesn't sound like you encountered much of anything. I mean, could just be some travelers built a bonfire and we caught a whiff of it.
No, this is... My whiskers were twitching and it just... I shivered, Oberyn shivered. At the same time, it was a touch that wasn't a touch, just something was off. And I know humans don't have their instincts kind of like some of us do. And I know it seems weird to you, but kind of trust me on this. This was weird. And the smell was... something was burning. I don't remember. There might be... We need to keep an eye out. Maybe a camp got attacked.
Are there any towns nearby?
I mean, Kuratown, I don't remember anything beyond that. We're most likely to run into, maybe a small nomad camp of some sort.
I didn't see anything when I was flying above any other towns.
Yeah, this was miles away, if anything. I'm not even sure how I know that. It just instinct is telling me something happened. Something's burning. Something burnt. Something big.
Should I ask the beings around us, nature? I could commune again and see if they find anything that matches your description.
How far away can you know these things?
I believe about 9 miles. Let me make sure.
It may be within that. I don't know. I just know it was a long ways away. If you want to, it's worth checking. It's
Worth a
going.
shot. Yeah, I'll try.
Okay.
So Crocta again will try to find some piece. I know it's kind of a rock wasteland, but find whatever life she can in the area and talk with it and ask it to reach out into the network of plants and animals all around them for 9 miles in every direction.
Okay.
And describe what Nomkath described to her. assuming, I mean, I know the spell says I can get 3 facts from that list. You can tell me if, like, what I'm asking for is like out of the spirit of the spell. But...
General state of the setting is calm, and
is there any unnatural creatures or people?
The only sense you get is that there were other people within 9 miles of you, but now there are not. Now it's just you.
Yeah, it seems, Nomkath, your whiskers are right. Someone was nearby, but they're no longer in the area. We might end up catching up with them, though, as we travel onward today.
Do they tell you, like, what direction and how far? I mean,
do they, Toby?
Vaguely, no. No, it's the presence of. I mean, you know that somewhere within 9 miles were some other, according to the spell's terminology, people.
But yeah, no.
They're gone now.
Not quite, Nomkath. I heard it from a plant. I heard it from a salamander. I heard it from a bird.
He literally heard it through the grapevine.
Yeah, it's
and
a bit raw.
Sour.
Not much longer would you be alive.
Nice.
I bet you wonder how he knew.
All right. Well, we'll just have to keep an eye out, keep aware, see what. I mean, we're heading in that general direction.
Okay. Taking off for that day?
Yep.
Okay. Let's have a perception, and we're going to call it a stealth for the scout. You're not really hiding, but your stealth check will help us know how conspicuous you are. It's just a bird cruising through the area.
Do I get a bonus being a small bird?
No, I'm just going to kind of weigh it all based on you seem like a fairly stealthy person, actually. Oh, yeah. You have an 11. Pretty good. So...
Just to know, I am specifically using the little telescope I have because I'm expecting trouble.
Okay. Kind of keep an eye on Kroktaw when he's within sight range of you and your telescope. He ranges pretty far.
Yeah, and also keeping an eye on just the general westerly direction. You know, that 90 degrees, so to speak.
And also remember that at the beginning of each day, I'm going to be giving everyone Super Blast.
Super Blast.
Oh, okay.
Super Blast is awesome. Because what does it last? Hour per level?
Yeah.
Oh, that spells OP. I never should have gave it to you guys. It's awesome. You're going to be super blessed for the rest of the campaign, I have a feeling.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Why wouldn't you? That's cool. Now, I found that book. I started digging through, because somebody took all of the side treasure books for Pathfinder and put them in Foundry. And I was like, the Choking Tower treasure is dog shit. So I'm going to add tons of wacky stuff to it. And that book was one of them. I liked it. Okay. Scout. While flying long, slow circles around the party and trying to pick a route through here, you see in a gulch up ahead, just barely off the best path, less than a mile off of it, there is a gulch that you, at first glance, you think, well, we're a long way from needing to rest tonight, but that would be an excellent rest spot. And then you see some debris in it. It looks like a scattered or abandoned campsite. And you realize that it is probably 7 to 8 miles from where you guys camped last night. And it's generally ahead of you. You'll have to deviate like half an hour or an hour out of the party's way to visit it if you want to.
Sorry, and you said it's scattered debris in the gulch?
Yep. It looks like a campsite that maybe an earthquake happened to, or an explosion or something. Stuff is just flung everywhere. That's what you can see from a distance. You want to fly closer by yourself?
Yeah, she'll get a little bit closer.
Yeah. Okay, how far away from the party are you willing to go?
How far have I been doing it, scouting so far?
I'm assuming since you're flying and you have elevation, you can keep the party within sight as long as you stay within 500-600 feet of them.
Yeah, I'm willing to go, like, you said it's about 7 miles out of the way?
No, it's 7 miles from your campsite last night. Currently, it's maybe 2,000, 3,000 feet out of your way. It's like half or 3/4 of a mile off the path.
She'll just fly off then. She's not too concerned about that.
Go take a look?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. This is what we want. Okay, the rest of the party will stay by the wagon, but I'm going to pull you all to this map together so you can see. The road is turning south and then west, and this is one of the possible side paths to Crocodile. You could have taken them down anyway. But you notice that down in this gulch off the road, there is a campsite, and as you get closer, you see what are clearly blast marks and some corpses.
But I don't see any creatures nearby?
Nope. Nope, it's very quiet.
Okay. I'll go closer, fly over towards one of the corpses.
Okay.
See if I can identify what type of creature it is.
Feel free. Move wherever you like.
So it's that one.
You're definitely looking at the lower torso of a humanoid of some type. Human, half-orc. Could be half-elf. You think most likely human or half-orc.
Okay. And do I see anything from this vantage point that looks different from where I was before? Like, just keeping an eye out for something that might be trying to attack me? I mean, I think I'm pretty conspicuous as a little bird.
You are. You're just cruising over here, and there are some other birds and natural creatures nearby. There is a dead horse, shattered wagon, several what look like blast marks or explosions, and a number of weapons laying on the ground. There are dozens of arrows scattered across the ground everywhere here. Many of them broken. Snap. Looks like the arrowhead's just shattered.
Interesting. And I only see, though, that one corpse up there. No other corpses.
Mm-hmm. So far.
This, in that valley I flew over, I see there's like a human-shaped mark. Is that accurate there?
Yeah. Do you want to look at that? Roll me a survival check on it. This is a roughly human-sized corpse burned to such extent that there's really not much left. There is the tiniest frame of a skeleton, and all the meat and skin has been burned away to ash, to where it really is just sort of a blackened human shape on the ground. And is Crocodile any good at the heal skill?
Can't remember. Let's see. Not that great, but let's roll for it.
Very good. What's left of the skull, you fly closer, maybe even hop down and land next to it, and the skull has the strangest cuts and damage. As far as you can tell with your successful survival check and heal check, this creature was thrown to the ground here. The back of the skull has suffered a minor skull fracture, which probably disabled or knocked the creature unconscious. at which point the front and top of the skull were cut with something incredibly sharp. And it was split open, like cracked open like an egg. And the brain was removed, and the rest of the body was just burned to ash after the fact by some incredible heat source.
And the other corpse was not like that. You said it was just a dismembered bottom.
It's just the lower torso and legs of some creature, and you see blood dripping off to the northwest, but the drips stop 20 feet away. And with your survival check, you are seeing punctures in the ground that at first you thought they might be little craters or holes that were dug, but they look like the footprints of a possibly insect of unimaginable size of a building.
Okay. Man, and before she gets up to leave, she'll just fly back over to the campsite there.
Mm-hmm.
And just looks to see if there's anything an item of interest that maybe she'd be able to pick up and take back with her to the party to show them from here. And besides the weapons and the arrows, if there's anything more unique than that in the beds or anything like that.
Perception check or appraise skill, if you have it. Appraise would be best.
Yeah, I don't have appraise.
Okay, do a perception check. Oh, very good. Hopping around here, you see rations were left behind. Water supplies are here. Tents, bedrolls. There are bags of money laying on the ground. There are usable weapons. And the weapons that you're looking at, even at a glance, you see that some of them are masterwork and very worn, very well used. Lots of notches and nicks and cuts from old battles. These are long trusted weapons of experienced warriors, just left on the ground.
Okay. Does the money, I'm assuming it's too heavy for me to like pick it up.
In your current form, yeah, but if the party comes by here, it's
okay.
several hundred gold they can scoop up.
Okay, then yeah, she'll fly back to the party.
Okay.
Along the trail and land next to them and start speaking about what she saw. A little ways off from here, a few thousand feet to the right, I saw there's a now an abandoned, abandoned's the wrong word, a destroyed encampment. Seems like there are some great warriors there, but they're all dead now. Something came and apparently eviscerated them, and one of them was burned to a crisp. It even looked like something had ripped its head off, to be honest, or not head, the top of its skull. Ripped the top of its skull off and taken out its brain. It was a really brutal scene, but there was some gold and some nice weapons there. But we could go. I mean, no one bothered me. I was just in this bird form. I'm not sure if anyone would notice us if we all went. Something really dangerous was there. Killed this group.
We should at least maybe see if there's any sort of an identification for the group, if it's local tribes or some merchants or something.
Yeah, I couldn't recognize anything except for the fact that they appear to have been warriors. They had well-worn weapons in the campsite.
Might be one of the tribes.
Let's go take a closer look. Whatever did it probably isn't still around.
It seems like it was huge. There's marks in the ground as if some huge insect maybe had walked through there and killed them. And I mean, like the size of a building. And so yeah, I think if it was still around, we would have seen it.
Exactly.
Something that big. I mean, you think we would have heard it last night?
That's true. But maybe it's.
Let's go check it out. It's
Okay,
maybe
party moves up.
Yep.
Okay. So far, by the way, we are just on trails, going at a normal pace, which means I'm letting you guys all take 10 on your ride checks, which means we're just skipping them. If you go galloping off the road somewhere, we'll be doing ride checks.
I don't see us rushing towards this, but just...
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Takala's taking the shortcut.
Just gonna walk down the wall.
Oh, you're going to hop down and use your boots, walk down the wall?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
Oberon will stay and hold the reins to the horses. Watch from up here.
Alright, well, if he's gonna do that, then I'll climb down too, so that,
Okay.
Takala's...
I'm not alone.
Yeah. Hey, we've learned always have backup, right?
I will.
Right. I really should.
That's
stop
totally what
working
Tokala was thinking.
on- I'm sorry.
I don't...
about that.
Oh,
I feel
no,
like a
I don't-
child being scolded.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's no problem in going ahead and going down and getting down here a little faster, and I can follow you without a problem. So
It just made sense, you know.
it's not a
I
problem.
will look to the east, think of Long Dreamer, and step off the edge.
Alfred, what are you doing?
Awesome.
You guys see the dwarf close his eyes, step off the cliff. You see Nomcath throw up his hands and go, "What are you doing?" And Ulfred gently floats down into the gulch. Touches down light as a feather. As if he's not a dwarf and gear that weighs certainly 300 pounds.
Yep.
When did you learn how to do that?
Long Dreamer showed me how to do it. I just have to think of him, and it happened.
Oh, that's interesting.
You really never seen me do it before. Huh.
Oh, hurry up! My goodness, slowpoke.
Oh, I'm just keeping an eye up here.
Mm.
I'll keep an eye on us from this vantage point.
So,
It makes sense. I mean,
See, he and Oberon are range support.
yeah, exactly. And if something comes up behind them, you and I can get up there pretty quick to support them.
true. Well, look over here, and Crocodile will show. Both over the edge, she'll kind of gesture towards the burnt corpse in the valley, and then take you guys over to the torn apart one too.
I'm going to. I assume I would roll a survival to get information about what happened here.
Sure. Okay. What are you looking at?
Well, I mean, I'm sure Croctaw's showing me the prints and everything like that,
Yep.
and
Yep.
I'm kind of looking at that, trying to. I mean, how many people were here? Were they all warriors? Were some of them civilians? Any indication of what this thing is that attacked them?
Okay. 6 experienced, well-armed, well-geared warriors. A horse and a cart. The horse was killed with a giant piercing weapon straight through its chest and into the ground underneath it. It was essentially stepped on by a giant creature that has spears for legs, like a giant spider or a giant insect. You think this creature must have been... I mean, the diameter of its leg, even 4 or 5 feet up its leg, where the horse's torso was pinned, was good 7 or 8 inches. So you're guessing this thing is just gigantic. Like its body, its thorax is probably the size of your carriage or bigger.
Can I tell if it's metallic or chitinous?
You're unsure. If you had to guess, you don't see any evidence of chitin. You don't see any sort of scrapes or hooks or horns marked from such things on its body. You think its legs are pretty much smooth as blades. And these marks on the ground, they are a knowledge engineering check.
I will try that.
Robots, says the expert.
It's always robots.
Fucking robots. These blast marks on the ground are not explosions. They are high-intensity energy weapons. And in most cases, they look like they have shattered weapons or equipment. There are melted pieces of metal armor. There is very little flesh damage other than this burnt corpse in the bottom of the gulch and this severed torso, and you don't see any evidence of the upper body anywhere.
So are these blast marks like bigger versions of McGinnis's gun?
Yes.
Or something? Okay.
They are heat, fire, some sort of intense, in your experience, I mean, you guys know what they're called. The Androphen has a word for laser, and that's what these are.
Didn't we hear tell about some kind of giant robot scorpions, like 5 times the size of Hellion out in these parts? I mean, maybe that's what hit these guys.
That does sound kind of familiar. Yeah, there's no bodies. I mean, just the 1.5 bodies in the horse.
And weren't there some kind of bee, some giant wasp that disappears folks? Maybe they're one and the same. I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't heard anybody just, the stories I've heard of the wasps, I haven't heard them describe them as anything but wasps. They didn't say, like, strange metallic wasps or strange looking wasps, or anything. They're just giant wasps. I don't know if it's the same thing.
Do you
remember... The thing that bugs me the most is, honestly, the horse. I mean, this thing, it didn't even look like it was attacked. It was just like in the way and stepped on. How could something that big just step on a horse without it getting out of the way?
And where the hell did it go?
Yeah.
I mean, something that big, I think we'd see it coming.
Do you remember Hellion's body? Like a giant spider.
The scorpion thing, yeah. But this is like
right.
much, much bigger.
Sure. I mean, robots come in all shapes and sizes. Could be something like that.
If this robot is insectoid, sometimes insects do ambush their prey.
But it's
maybe they were caught by surprise.
It's big. It's metallic. It's gonna, and he basically pulls a dagger and taps it on the ground, and a couple of the rocks he hits tings and all that sort of stuff. And it's like, it would have made noise walking through here. It's not all soft. There's stones and other hard pieces that would have made noise on.
Could it fly?
I mean,
have you seen a flying robot before?
We've seen them, but even then they're not like completely silent. You hear them coming for a decent distance away. Not super far, but a good room or so away.
I have seen great feats by technology before, so wouldn't put it past people to make something that horrible.
Maybe. With the tracks here, do I have any idea if I could try and trace it back where it went?
It went north-northwest out of here, which is not exactly the way it came in, but it came across this camp very suddenly. According to your survival check, it did this much damage in moments. Probably was here less than a minute. And 2 of the bodies were destroyed, and the rest are gone. And yeah, we're going to quit there. I'll leave you with this, which you guys have, and you probably just didn't know it. But this is in Morgana's sketchbook.
Cool.
That looks fearsome.
It is. And it reminds you very much of Hellion's body. All right. Good session. I'll stop the recording there, and we'll hopefully see everybody next week.
Yep.
Awesome.
Next week.
Yeah, it's fun. It's
Yeah,
good.
it's
I missed it.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.